Alright, everyone, welcome to our first episode of The Quad. Woo! Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we're doing this. Let's just introduce ourselves. I'll start. My name is Daniel Lee. I am currently... Actually, I'm not revealing my age, but I'm a recent Biola grad. I studied business, and I currently work as an after-school director at an undisclosed location. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me.
Hello, my name is Yejun Huang. I graduated from college a long time ago. Will not disclose when. I currently work in advertising.
My name is Jamar Sagan. I'm currently a college student studying psychology. I also work at the same undisclosed location that Daniel works at as a student teacher kind of thing, tutor. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Sadad Salahuddin. I am a current USC student, and I'm currently unemployed looking for a job. And this whole podcast is a ruse for me to network and find an employer. Please, you can find my resume and CV. You can contact our email at SADADSALAHUDDIN@gmail.com.
We're gonna censor that.
Yeah. Also, sit on our listening body is like 2 college students. Like,
You never know.
Someone
hired this guy.
You never know.
All right. Well, actually, on that topic of introducing yourselves, let's just kind of, MBTI is trendy these days, right? So let's just kind of do our MBTIs as we go around. Yeah.
Enneagram.
So I am an EINFP.
You are not an I. Stop.
No, I
No.
really am.
Before we do that, how
Stop
about
it.
we guess?
You guess each other's,
And then,
we should already know these things.
I feel like I can figure yours out.
Huh?
I feel like I can figure yours out.
No, I mean that's the point. Like, we want to demonstrate how well we know each other.
All right,
Our
then
chemistry.
Right, you guess Yejun's then.
Okay.
All right, go.
One by one. So like, first letter is E or I, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel is E.
I just disclosed mine.
Okay.
No, he proclaims that he's an I.
I'm an EI.
He wishes he was.
No, I really am.
You're just confused.
My mother,
confused.
actually, I met my mom last,
You met your mom for the first time.
I went home. I went home for the first time in a while. My mom was like, you know what? Like, you truly are an I. I was like, you know what? Thanks, mother. I feel so validated. No one else knows that. So
Or maybe you just like.
You only
don't
seem like a
interact
I
with
at
people.
home because you have no friends out there and you stay at home all day. It's not because you're an actual I.
And you'd rather be on your phone than talk to your own mother. You know?
Hey.
God knows what.
Why was God knows. Hey Daniel, why was it the first time in so long that you saw your mother, huh?
Because my mom lives in Georgia.
Yeah, and planes don't work anymore?
I'm just busy. All right, sorry. Continuing. All right, you want to guess each other's MBTIs?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
Okay.
Let's start with Yejun then.
Don't we know
I think
everyone so? Oh, maybe you just
Yeah. Guess
So
Yejun's,
Yejun is an I. Jamar is an E.
Wait, you're so wrong.
Let's
Okay,
keep going,
sorry.
let's keep going.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I think we should disclose first. You three live with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then myself, Jamar, and Daniel went to middle school and high school together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've known each other since we were 13.
Yeah.
And which is like 2 years. We're 15 years old now.
That was not funny. But okay, continue with Yejun.
We'll cut that out. And so I met Yejun through like knowing you guys.
Yeah.
Leeching your food, taking up
exactly.
your space.
Our roof.
Yeah.
All right, well, back to the topic then.
Oh.
So what's Yejun's MBTI off of your guys?
No, I'm going letter by letter. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think he's an I, and Jamar's an E
Okay.
with I tendencies.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we reveal the answer?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, right now or at the end?
Oh, we're doing letter by letter?
Letter by letter.
Oh,
Letter by
okay,
letter,
okay.
okay.
Well, yeah, go.
I'm an E.
I'm an I.
So you suck.
You suck.
Obviously, Sadat is not the psych major.
Oh, we don't have to do this anymore.
The experiment is there.
The experiment is over.
Experiment has ended.
All right, for sure. All right,
Wait, what were you? You are.
You know what? Fine. For the sake of the argument, we'll go ENFP.
You're a P?
I am a P. ENFJ. I am so
ENFJ.
sorry.
Okay.
ENFJ.
Okay, I was gonna
ENFJ.
say,
I am so sorry. Yeah,
Such
ENFJ.
a strong J.
I'm a strong J. Yeah.
I'm an ENTJ.
I am an INFP.
And I oscillate between ENFP and INFP.
Wait,
So
I
that is
oscillate too
definitely
then.
You do not.
ENFP.
That's
Stop
crazy.
it.
That's
So
crazy.
okay, if I have to choose, then I'll
So
go
that's
ENFP
definitely
as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so kind of, that was a pretty long, drawn-out introduction, but, I think it kind of proves kind of the relationship that we have with each other. So the objective of our podcast really is, it's to kind of provide a platform for people to tell their stories, for ourselves to tell our stories, and talk about various topics that kind of like we have on a normal basis, but I just felt like it'd be really cool to share and like record our conversations because, kind of like what Sadat was saying, like we're all very close and we've had some pretty like delusional, like weird conversations before. And so
We're not like those other guys.
yeah, we're different. You know what I mean?
We're different.
Actually, but on speaking of which, on introductions though, I forgot. We have Alex back there. Hi, Alex.
Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so Alex is in charge of our, our technology.
He's the guy behind the chair for us.
Yeah, exactly, guy in the chair. So yeah, I kind of wanted to go over why you guys decided to join this podcast, and so it's kind of I kind of wanted to hear your guys' reasoning behind that. Start with Yejun here, actually.
I decided to join because it was going to be filmed under my roof and I'm here anyways. But also, I mean, honestly, we do have a lot of these like random discussions all the time that I think are very interesting and go beyond normal conversation that I normally have with other people. And so who cares if no one listens to this podcast?
No, I
We're going
agree.
to record it and we're going to put it online and maybe someone will care.
Yeah, our two listener base out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just cause, just simply put, it's like there's no expectations put into this. None of us are like popular, not like all over the place socially and stuff. And so it's just, I think it's a good time to just hang out, talk, put it online, maybe have some fun jokes. Just like I guess just challenge myself in this sort of way.
I think for me, like, I see you guys a lot less than I usually do or did in the past. I think this gives me an excuse to come over.
Like
and-
once a week at least.
Yeah, at least once a week, eat your food. Gives me a reason to, like, leech off of you guys.
Yeah.
And, like, not be called out for it, I guess.
It's cute.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, because being a student, like, I've become a lot more busy. And I feel like we don't even text or call as much anymore just because we're all busy people. And this at least gives us a platform to talk to each
Dude,
other.
you're making it sound like we're not connected whatsoever. It's like
Sentimental.
it's so sad. Okay, no, yeah. So, I like I shared before. I think I kind of wanted to do this similar to Yejun because I was like talking with someone at school like last year, and then they were just kind of saying like how much fun we have like at this house talking about like random crap like over and over again. And I was like, that's so true. And it's like almost like I wish we did this earlier.
Yeah,
Because-
there are some conversations that have been had that I wish was recorded.
No, seriously, there's been some insane conversations, right? And so, the idea of behind this is like I'm sure there's like a lot of broadcasting voices right now, like or broadcasting personalities, but eventually, like as we get more comfortable with it, a lot of our delusional opinions kind of come out. And so, I'm excited, and also like I think like I'm a big fan of memories, and so maybe one day like down the line, like a year or two, I don't know how long we're gonna do this, but looking back at this and either laughing at ourselves and or thinking of like, wow, that's such a good time. So that was kind of like my objective behind the podcast as well. And for whoever is listening, to hopefully give them like more insight into different aspects of people's lives too, because we're going to be bringing in guests that have like unique stories to tell. So yeah, that's kind of the objective for me. So
Also, real quick, like, I think personally, I'm very bad at, like, taking pictures and, like, recording things in my life.
oh, I see.
Yeah, so, like, at least this is kind of, like, photojournalism for me.
So what I'm hearing is
Pictures.
this
Yeah.
is a selfish ambition project.
Yeah.
for you, huh? It's all about yourself.
What part of getting to talk to my friends who I don't see
Hey,
as much?
you,
is
no,
selfish,
the
okay?
worst words that uttered out of your mouth was
I'm
taking
sorry,
your
I'm
food.
guilty. I'm guilty for caring about my friends. You know?
So Dr.
You
does
used
not
to
find
take your
help.
food.
This is way for asking for help.
Alright, so yeah, moving on. This is our pilot episode, so that won't be too long, but I kind of wanted to talk about the intertwining stories that we have with each other. Like, kind of, Sadat kind of alluded to this earlier, like how we met each other, and some key moments in our friendship and relationship with each other, and so, yeah, let's just kind of jump straight into it. Sadat, I think you can start us out. Let's go with you and Jamar. How did you and Jamar meet? Yeah.
Okay, so Jamar, myself, and Daniel, we went to this kind of unique high school. It's 6 through 12, so I guess it's middle school. 7 through 12, my bad. I'm just making it up.
I got you.
Just making it up as we go.
We just met last month.
We are 4 strangers who have never met. We're going as.
I met you guys on Craigslist.
Yeah, as the podcast goes, we're making it up.
Yeah, we found the job on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm a friend.
It doesn't pay though.
So 7 through 12. I'm not from like Orange County, the Anaheim, Cypress, whatever general area. I'm from Long Beach. So coming into that school, I didn't know anyone. So the very first day was orientation. I come in, I sit down in this classroom with this random people that I've never met before. And the teacher says, get out a piece of paper and a pencil. And this guy next to me just like hunches over, is like, do you have a pencil I can borrow?
on day one.
On day one.
I came with nothing. I came with no backpack.
I came with no backpack, no paper, no pencil. And 10 years later, here we are. And you know what's really like touching is, I remember you told me on the day of high school graduation, you brought a pen to like commemorate.
You did that?
Yeah.
Dude,
Wow,
you're a
really?
sucker for sensitive. That's so
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
plug yourself
quite
with the
sensitive.
ladies out there right now.
Yeah. To commemorate.
He remembers things.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey guys,
I'll give it back to you. I'll give you that.
So yeah, it all started because Jamar was unprepared for school.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah, what about you, Jamar? Is that your first memory of Sadat?
No,
or
yeah,
fondest
like-
memory?
I remember it was orientation for middle school. And the teacher's like, yeah, bring out a pencil and paper. I was like, oh my god. I literally just got dropped off here. And I'm like looking around frantically. The funny thing is, like, okay, Sadat that day was wearing a Jordan hoodie. It had number 23 on it. I was like, dude, this guy likes Jordan.
It's like mad chill, bro.
I just knew we'd be, homies like that. And I was like, man, this is it.
It's just vibes, bro.
Yeah.
The vibes were vibes.
Hey, you know what's funny though, Sadat? It's like the hoodie memory I have of you is your UCLA hoodie that you wore for like
Which is ironic because now I go to
USC. Yeah,
USC.
but yeah, that's so funny. Yeah.
Fun on.
What would you guys say are some key moments in your guys' relationship thus far? Like that's probably a story of how you guys first met.
Right.
Was any like funny anecdotes, significant anecdotes, fights, fist fights?
There's this one time we were both in this AP Bio class.
Yeah.
And then, naturally as high school students, we're trying to cheat, right? We're trying to find
Naturally.
naturally,
yeah.
We're trying to find the online Quizlet, and like suddenly I'm like, Sadat, I think I found it, and then Sadat almost shed a tear. He literally
I'm genuinely I'm gonna go to college, guys. I have a future now.
Because you successfully cheated?
no, but it turned out it wasn't the right quiz. Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, so that was a significant moment?
No, definitely.
I feel like that entire moment was like 30 seconds.
God, it was touchy.
Okay, but that 30 seconds was a lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I think we were on the ground crying. We were laughing after that happened.
Alright, so what about you? What's like a fond memory that you have?
Oh,
I
man.
feel like with our like your guys' relationships, we can go on for like hours in terms of this, right? So like,
Yeah.
it's like some funny stories or that it doesn't have to be funny, like good stories or whatever.
I think in that same AP Bio class, I remember.
Gosh, iconic.
Yeah,
that class.
That is the iconic AP Bio class. I remember for an hour we were working on this problem and we couldn't solve how to do it. And Jamar's like, finally, you know what? We need the teacher's help. And we go to the teacher and we ask her like, how do you do this? And then she says, you guys are on the wrong page. We were doing the wrong problem for an hour.
Oh, that's so funny.
Those two examples are such core parts of what our friendship looks like.
Okay.
So a lot of effort that fruits nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giggles.
Okay. So, I mean, do you have any questions regarding like any of their high school experiences or like? I feel like because this is for you probably a unique scope into what they grew up together in. You know what I mean? Because you only see adult version of these two. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, would you guys say that your relationship is different from your high school relationship and now?
No, I feel like it's
No, yeah. I think in many ways.
Has it matured in any way?
You still
Or
don't know how to
changed.
talk to women.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Still don't know how to talk to a woman.
But something about the foundation that me and Sadat's friendship is
Oh,
built
about
on.
that? Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, something about the foundation me and Sadat's friendship is built on. It's just like, man, it's like,
The foundation of not knowing how to talk to women.
or like it just passes all tests, like even the test of time.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of. I think our humor code maybe. Humor
Yeah,
code is
yeah.
very similar and just I don't know, it's just lifestyle.
Yeah.
How do you perceive their friendship as from an outside perspective? Like, what would you be like? What would be an example of like you saw them interact? You're like, wow, that's just such a Jamar Sadat interaction. Like, for example, for me, there was this period in time where Sadat would come over weekly just to watch an anime with Jamar. But it's funny too because I don't really watch anime. I probably should, but I don't really watch it, and so I didn't know. Like, I wasn't really paying attention to what the screen was. Right. The only thing that I was noticing was I don't think they were listening to what the screen was saying either. Like, all like their talking, their dialogue was more like they had more dialogue than the actual script. They're just constantly talking about the most like outlandish things. Like it's non-stop talking. It's like those people in the movie theater that you don't want to sit next to when you like, watch a show, right?
Right.
So
No,
like, what
I
would
mean, I think, based on what you guys were just saying, like, a lot of times you're here and he's here. A lot of times it's about girl problems. That's usually the bulk of the reason for meeting. It's like,
The council
the council must meet in order to discuss this problem with
That's
this
true.
girl.
That's true. Sadat has been there for I think not even just Jamar's girls probably. He's been out there for like the most random is like one of our good mutual friends when he sat right there. And you were getting like outraged at the story that was being told.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So So it's like
Yeah.
that's a good point. So I think on that topic, Sadat, what would you say is like how did you meet Yejun? Significant like points because I feel like girl problems is another big big reason why.
Okay, I think Yejun for all three of us is like the older brother we never had.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because he's seen more of life than we have. I think he gives like solid advice. Yeah, and wait, Juwan, why don't you go first, and then I'll piggyback off
About Yejun?
Yeah, the advice he gives you.
No, I first met Yejun like 7 years ago at church, and I always thought he was like this like really stoic guy, and there was like this retreat, and he was like really giving like good advice about life and everything, and I was like, man, this guy's like super cool, very admirable. And I remember a little time after that, I'm like talking to Daniel. I'm like, oh, like tell me about like Yejun and stuff. He's like really cool, and Daniel's like, oh yeah, like he like came to California for like college. He's like originally from New York.
I said that?
Yeah, no, this is
what did I say?
No, this is what you said.
Oh, really? Yeah. You know what's funny though is I can totally see myself saying that. That's so okay. I see.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah. He's like in arts. He's like doing all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, that's so cool. Fast forward like 5 years, like literally at last year when I moved in, talking to Yejun, I was like, hey, so like,
Was that last year?
no, it was like literally like a year or maybe 2 years ago. I was like, yeah, like. I don't know if I opened up with like, "Hey, how's New York?" or I was like, "Oh, hey, well, like, where are you like your childhood and stuff?" I was like talking about that kind of general stuff. He's like, "Yeah, I went to Kennedy." I was like, "Kennedy, like the school across my high school."
Wait, John F. Kennedy?
And I was like, "Wait, what? I thought you moved here for like college and stuff." He's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I
I'm
was
so
like,
curious where even that idea of me coming from New York came
Hey,
from.
but honestly, I think on that note, I didn't even know you were from Kennedy until probably 2 years ago too. Like
I probably only mentioned it when I found out that one of your guys' friend from college, our volleyball king,
Oh yeah.
from Kennedy.
Yeah, so before you mentioned that, I didn't know either. So I was under the New York assumption, or I don't remember if it was New York, but I
Where
thought
does
you were.
that come from?
I don't know, but that's how I always viewed you. As just
Yeah.
outsider almost, yeah.
Yeah. And so in my head, you're like, every time you like lived or acted, I was like, yeah, New York. So I was like, yep.
That's New York.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
For Yejun and I don't know, it's like like I said, like he just provides advice. Like I remember I had this conversation with Yejun. It's like, do you feel like we keep you young? And he's like, yeah, because your problems are so like minute. And like,
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's like keeps me young, keeps like that silly goofy, you know, the silly goofy problems in life is what keeps me up, you know. Yeah, I don't know, Daniel.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, before we move on, I kind of want to. I want this story, Sadad, of your. So, you know, just for reference, Sadad came over to our house like in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it was
and
like
he
1 a.m.
It was like 1 a.m. and he was having like identity crisis, right? Over some girl problem, and then like, I don't remember what was the details. Like, what happened that night? I don't
Wait, can you cut the audio? Wait, can you cut it real quick?
Why?
Wait, because I don't know how to say the story without.
Just don't
make
say
it
it.
wrong.
No, because like I don't know if I want to say the story.
Oh, then don't say it.
Because
Just get some like TLDR.
Okay,
stuff,
give me
like-
a second.
Also, we're not
Okay.
cutting. Did you cut it? Yeah, we're not
No,
cutting.
no,
it.
I know. It's like, wait, give me a second to gather my thoughts.
Sorry, wait, if you don't want to answer it.
No, it's
Okay,
not
okay.
that. It's like I don't know how to tell the story. Like I didn't think about this
How did it
yet.
start? Like what made you
Have identity
at 12 a.m. be like, I'm gonna come out to Dale's for you.
All the way from LA.
Yeah.
And you will have to remind me because I don't have the best memory, so I don't even.
Yeah, he
I
didn't
don't
remember he
even
downplayed
what
your
it
problems
was.
that one time.
Okay, so I had this friend. This
Lady
female
friend.
This lady friend. And we were friends. Like emphasis on the friends part. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Because I don't even remember the story. So like,
How do you not
No,
remember
because
the
like
story?
I need time to like.
Story.
I need the time to like.
I
think
thought
about it.
this changed your psychology.
I know.
forever.
Okay, but at the like you said, it's insignificant. I didn't think
Insignificant.
In the grand scheme of things, it didn't actually
I'll-
matter.
I'll try. I think I'll try.
Okay. This story's
So,
important.
yeah.
Third party.
Yeah. So Sadad had this lady friend, and they were really close. And they were like really good friends and everything. Like I don't think Sadad really developed any feelings.
Yeah.
However, this.
Okay, I remember now.
Oh, that triggered the memory.
That triggered.
I'll finish my idea, but yeah, let's just say this woman, her name Hope, but the key silent on the weekends. And then that.
Wait, say that one more time.
Her name Hope, but the P silent on the weekends. and like, for some reason, I think in Sadad's head, it's like, man, like this woman's like getting down with all these other guys. Like, why not me?
No, it was like, I don't want you, but like, why don't you want me?
Right.
Yeah. And then this just this like fundamental like crisis to develop. Like, what about me is not
Not wantable.
Not wantable.
Okay,
you know?
I'm starting to remember.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, but
down
you didn't
in
want
the
her
corner.
either.
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
didn't want
Yeah,
her
this is-
either.
yeah,
but it was like about like.
Yeah, but like you know, I'm a little toxic. I guess.
I just want to be loved.
I just want to be loved, bro. I just
What
wanna
were you gonna
be
say? It was about
appreciated.
what?
It was like about like we then like got into like being like self-confident in yourself.
Yeah. Which is something I'm still working on. Like, I think Yejin helped me realize like maybe it's because I'm an only child, but like I've always tried to be an entertainer. I've always wanted to impress people, and I've always wanted to. People please for like
sure.
yeah, that's a better word. And you know, I'm still trying to figure out like where that stems from. I mentioned like, oh, I'm an only child. Maybe that's why. I think growing up, like I was very introverted. Like in elementary school, like I had very few friends, and it wasn't until I like entered middle school that I really like broke out of my shell. So it's like that unaddressed like childhood.
Until you joined the podcast.
Yeah, so I joined the podcast because everyone has to hear me out.
Yeah, but no, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah.
I remember during that night, as a joke, like we were talking, I'm like, so Sadad, how's your relationship with your father? And he was like, yeah, I said that. He's like, oh, it's great. And then a week later, he texts me. He's like, Chapar, I'm realizing that my relationship with my dad is not the greatest.
Wait. That's not true. Okay, wait. Cut the camera now. We weren't supposed to talk about this. I thought this was supposed to be whimsical and fun.
That was so on a podcast. Where did daddy issues come into this?
No, okay.
We're gonna be real and authentic.
Yeah. Talk about our parental issues.
Yeah.
We'll talk about our trauma just for you guys.
Yeah.
No, but I think the reason it's so important for Yejin to be here is like I mentioned, like he's like the older brother we never had. I think he's like a good like masculine figure of like what we should not necessarily I don't know.
No, I get it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think for me with Yej, man, I don't even remember, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I know. I feel like for you and Jamar, like my memory of you guys is just you guys being like young youth kids.
Yeah.
Or like.
Yeah.
Were you guys in junior high when I first met you guys, or
I think it
were
was
you
like
guys
early
in
high school.
like early high school?
I think it might have been. Was it junior high? I honestly don't remember. When did you?
Okay, I started coming out like 2012.
Okay, so we were junior high.
In junior high.
Yeah, we were in junior high at that point.
So then, like our interactions were very little until you guys got to college.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like kind of what you were saying. I think for me, I always saw Yejun as the person who designed all the church stuff. The pamphlets, the sweaters. Oh my gosh, you know those so there's at church there's these like panels on the wall. It's like these wooden like things, and he designed all of them, right? And so I remember seeing him do that and like being like so envious at his artistic skills because I lacked that severely. And I was just like, oh, like that's kind of how I saw him. But I think our relationship really started when I moved in.
Yeah.
Right. So when I moved in, we had like college ministry, and all these kind of things. And I think that's kind of where I realized that we get along. Really, like in the past it's just like a distant figure, but I think once we did that, we get along. I think at this point, or up until now, it was just a big part, like. It's like kind of what they're saying, offering counsel. But I think even just beyond counsel, though, just like having conversations in general, like about various topics, like even if it's not for advice. And
we have fun,
dude. No, honestly, guys, you know what's funny? This is completely off topic, but I was talking to a friend, and then she was like, "Yeah, like at the house, like what do you guys do every day?" I'm like, "It's a journey. It's a different journey every single day. There's no routine, and so yeah, it's kind of what it was. And so, what were your earliest memories of like everyone here? Like first memories, like fond memories, etc. I think the same question that we've been asking.
Right. Like, yeah, early memories of you guys are just you guys being like in junior high or like high school, and we had very little interaction, and it was only until you guys came into college that I started like actually interacting with you guys, and way more when you guys moved into this house.
Yeah.
And then so it was through that, I don't know, like that was a nice fun experience, I think, having you guys move in, because then I felt like I was being able to like actually be a part of your guys' lives.
Yeah.
And then that's how I met like Sadat. Was like they're all still like really close to your high school friends, and Sadat's from that friend group. So at first Sadat was just one of the and Alex was just like a monolith of the Oxford kids that would come to the house.
Yeah.
And then slowly like individual relationships started to form, and so I think like for you guys, I don't know, it's like I always saw you guys kind of like you guys are like the buddy cop duo.
Me and Jamar, the buddy cop duo.
Buddy cop
Harold
duo.
and
You
Kumar.
guys were like,
Harold
and Kumar.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And so you guys had that like dynamic, and so I always thought that was fun.
But wasn't Sadat's introduction such a wrinkle in your life? Because I feel like
a wrinkle.
Yeah, it's like you don't meet. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you're so unique. Like I think in a good way, right?
I'm not like those other guys,
Yeah, you're different. But like, do you think he's added a completely different dimension, or do you think you've met people like him in the past? It's kind of what I'm asking.
I mean, I've definitely met people like Sadat in the past, but like, they're not in my life.
Yeah.
I feel like Sadat like always adds a level of energy and like, what's the word? Like controversy.
In chaos.
And he is a chaos of life that like people are often missing in their lives. So,
Singing their
yeah.
lives.
Wait, Yejun, I'm curious. Like you saw, especially Daniel and Jamar, since they were in junior high. So like, what changes have you seen them as you saw them like, literally grow up?
I think for the longest time, to me, they were just little kids. And then at a certain point, I was like, oh, they can actually be like people I can like talk to and like relate to at a certain like point. I guess like once they got into college and started like being more mature and like adults. Because like I just remember them being like the youth kids that would like leave a mess in the church, and like you know, people would like yell at them to like clean after themselves, and they just like do their own thing all the time. But then yeah, now it's like, oh, like even though our age gap is pretty big, like we can actually have like,
was there a moment or conversation that were like, oh wow, these guys are like they're like interesting people to talk to now, they're not just kids?
for Daniel, it was when I realized that he's actually smart.
That's crazy. All right. That's crazy.
Because I think amongst like us the older guys, like we just thought of all of the high school kids as like just like these dumb little like, you know, kids that just do dumb things,
that's natural,
right?
yeah.
And so like I don't think I even realized that you guys even went to Oxford until way later, and then like I think just having conversations, I was like, oh, Daniel is actually not dumb. Like,
there's something behind those eyes.
There's something in there that actually like thinks and is intelligent. And then I realized like when I heard about your lanes.
Oh yeah, my lane theory.
Your lane.
Not even theory. It's lane reality.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
what's the lane reality?
So like, okay, I call it the lane reality in that like most humans, most regular humans like us, we have maybe like 2 tracks of thought that we can have at one time, right? Like I can be having this conversation right now and maybe thinking about like some work thing I have to do, and that's like the up to like 2, maybe if I really am busy or like a lot of things are going on, maybe up to like 3 different tracks can happen at the same time in my mind. This guy has like, he has music playing in the background at all times. He has the current conversation that he has. Then he has a track that's thinking about all the things that he has to do, like his schedule. And then he has another track that's thinking about like, he has a question of the day that he gives himself. And so like one track of his mind is thinking about the question of the day. And he has like 6 different tracks going on all at once.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, either you're crazy, or you definitely have ADHD of some sort.
No, I think I have ADHD.
But also like that also showed me like a level of like intellect or capacity for intellect, at least.
That's fair.
That was beyond normal human beings. And
fair.
I always tell Daniel that you're not normal.
It's like a high functioning alcoholic. It's like,
What?
high functioning.
Yeah,
That's an oxymoron.
How is that even possible? That's crazy. Oh, that's so funny. All right, so moving on, Jamar. What would you like? I think we just got Sadat's perspective. We got Yejun's a lot, right? What would you say your perspective of Sadat, which we kind of covered in depth a little bit more? Like me, you know.
What about Daniel?
Me, whatever. Yeah.
I think before going to Daniel, I think for Yejun, I think it's, like, this story always plays in my mind whenever people ask me about my relationship with Yejun. But it was like this one late night. It's like 1 a.m. Me, Daniel, and another group of our friends were just hanging out, and they were like, let's go to San Francisco.
It was like 12 or 1.
Yeah, it was like 12. We started the discussion at 12 a.m. and we finished it at like 1 a.m. and like we're gonna go to San Francisco.
See the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. Wait, were you there, Alex?
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah.
You went? Oh, Alex
Yeah,
did
he was part of that
go.
group.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna go drive 6 hours, be in time for the
sunset.
sunrise,
Sorry.
sunrise,
Yeah.
see the Golden Gate Bridge, hang out for a little bit, and then dip,
and then come back.
come back.
So they were gonna do a less than 24-hour trip to San Francisco on a random night,
on a 12-hour trip.
and they had to come back because they had other things that they had to do.
Yeah, I had to work and stuff.
Yeah, and so they were like, oh, should we go? Should we not go? Like, what if we went? It wouldn't be so cool. It'd be such a great experience. And I was like, guys, do not go to San Francisco at this time and expect to have a great time. And you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Daniel, you had to be back early because you had praise for Sunday.
Oh yeah, I had church the following.
It was a
Sunday,
Saturday.
So it was a Saturday.
It was a Friday.
Friday, and
Oh,
I
no.
had to be back by Saturday. Yeah. That's what it was.
Like that,
It was something like that. Yeah.
And then I remember the entire time, like, we're like, yeah, it'll be so fun. Let's check out these places. And you're just like, no, don't do it. If you're going to go to San Francisco, like, plan it out. Be there for a day. Like, it'll be a lot of fun. There's, like, a lot of good things to do in San Francisco if you plan it out. And I'm like, whatever, old man. Like, you don't know anything. And we're packed up. We're leaving the front door. We all step
so
out.
funny.
We're like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm about to get him here. I turn around. Yejun's on the couch. Yejun, to be honest, if you were our age, would you be doing the same thing? We all look at him.
Expecting a yes, right?
Yeah, we were like, oh man, we got him here. He's like, thinks about it? No. No, you guys are stupid. I would not do this. And then we're all like, well,
Sucks
We're
to be
still
you.
going.
yeah, we're like, well, we're already packed. Let's
Oh,
go.
that was so funny. That was good. Good memories.
But yeah, I think that's, man,
Let's. You cannot leave out what happened on this trip.
well, I don't even
So
remember.
much happened. Yeah. Like what are you talking about?
Was
yeah.
this trip enjoyable?
No, it was
Oh
terrible.
no, yeah, it was terrible. No, he was
It was
right.
so
I think-
bad.
Yeah, he was right.
I
He
was so
right.
tired.
Yeah. Like we
And
almost
what-
died on the
what-
drive.
What did you eat?
Oh yeah, we ate Korean food up there. Yeah. Like
We went
jjajangmyeon.
to San Francisco and ate Korean food.
We live in Buena Park.
Yeah, which is K-Town, which is we live in K-Town.
Oh gosh. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was not a fun
It
memory.
was not a good. It was not a good trip.
Oh yeah, and then like people were crying on the trip.
Oh yeah, people were crying. There's like
Yeah.
drama.
There was drama.
Yeah.
What a
Wait,
terrible.
wait. Can we disclose the drama? Or?
Or like basically what happened. Actually, I don't think we can.
I don't think it's not even worthwhile.
It's not worthwhile. It's just like people weren't supposed to be there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah. But,
Oh right.
Yeah. What a
One
time.
time. So yeah, I think it's one of my head like just like this wise figure, and sometimes we don't listen to him.
We bear the consequences.
For the consequences.
Through sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Health. Yeah.
But yeah, I think moving to Daniel. Yeah, Daniel's one of the first people, or first like really good quality friendships I made in junior high and high school. Which quickly he brought me out to church, but I don't know if this is an episode to talk about
Sure.
that.
Hashtag God.
Hashtag God. But I think every time I talk to people in college, it's like, what's about me and Daniel's friendship? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I think I can understand how.
No, I think that's the thing. Like we've known each other for so long, we have all these small memories, but like in the
Yeah.
aggregate, when someone asks me like, "Oh, what are the highlights?" Like,
For
like
sure.
everything's a highlight.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in a general sense, kind of adding to what Yejun said, it's like, yeah, I think Daniel and I just have like a really good like duo partnership, in a sense of like, it's like I always say this to other people, like we're kind of like opposite in sort of like processes, and I think that brings a good like balance, like good like yin and yang. I think fundamentally we have very similar like core beliefs and values, but we just approach it differently, and in that sense, it like really gives us like a good like teamwork.
Yeah.
Do you think you can like? I know this is on the spot, but
For sure.
Can you come up with an example?
I think an example is like, say like we're like leading a group of like people. I am way more like chill and like lackadaisical. I don't know if lackadaisical is the right word, but much more like free flowing. And Dale's like much more structured.
Yeah, I need structure.
Yeah, and so I think like in terms of like getting things done.
I mean, wait, clearly not. You still went to San Francisco, like.
Yeah. You know, that's why I just said I'm just weird, man. I don't think I fit a particular bill, but yeah.
Yeah,
continue,
but yeah, I think like leading a group of people, I think Daniel's kind of there like delegating things, kind of like pushing the pieces around, and I think I'm like the kind of person that like does doing the pushing, like the actual physically moving with the people.
Yeah, that's valid.
In the situation.
Yeah. Even going back to the MBTI thing, like you're an ENFJ and you're INFP. So the IE and the JP are the different parts, and I feel like the core of most people and like what really makes up their like core personality is the middle two, the NF. So both of you being intuiting.
All three of us actually. Well, are you?
Except for me, I'm
Yeah.
an NT.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I live my life
We're all N's,
based
I guess.
on logic.
Like don't go to San
Like don't
Francisco.
go to San Francisco.
Hey.
But like that
Sometimes
core-
you catch a vibe, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah.
No, if the vibe was right, I would do it too. But that vibe was not it.
No, he's right though.
Yeah.
Yeah, history proves right.
But yeah, as you were saying though.
But yeah, like that core part like really makes up like I think like your values or like how your values are expressed. So like I think that's where you guys like do match up perfectly, and then like the external parts are just like little more like personality quirks or like needs that might be different, but I think that's why you guys like get along.
Makes sense, yeah. What would you say is a fond memory or any memories that you have out of the litany that are there?
Dude, there's so many actually.
Yeah, there's so many.
I think a funny one was like it's in high school. Our
Kinda scared.
Our junior year, I think. It's like super random, but I think it's also like another like indicator of like a pillar of our friendship. So junior year, Daniel's dating this girl. I'm not gonna drop any names, but that's not the point of the story. For some reason, he like couldn't go to like our like winter formal. Like, our years, like,
Oh
winter
my
formal.
gosh, this story's crazy. Okay,
And like
okay.
I was like really close to his like as his girlfriend at the time. And I don't know what led to it. I don't even know exactly what happened. But I ended up taking her to the winter formal.
I remember
Yeah.
this. This is a true story.
Yeah, and it was like I don't exactly remember why or how that even
I don't know
led to
what happened
happen.
either.
But I was like, oh, like Daniel's like not taking her, and I was like, I was really close to her. I was like, just for fun, I was like, I should go.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. And then
Me personally, I wouldn't let that slide.
You wouldn't let that
I
slide?
wouldn't let that slide.
but yeah, I think just like
I think
remember
our viewers
that.
like, how the hell did these two friends? You're breaking a core like guy code. What is wrong with
Dude,
you?
I forgot. That's a memory I forgot. That's so
yeah,
crazy.
no, I think it's definitely not one of like the most memorable memories between us, but I think that story just like a good like, is for just like strangers like
And no one will believe you had no feelings for her.
Dude.
Which we know you
yeah.
don't.
yeah.
No, but that story just triggered about 10 red flags in people who are listening.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
both
yeah,
sides of the
It
equation.
was what, like 6 years ago. Come on, give me a chance.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's very like if I go take care of my children kind of thing.
Yeah,
no, it was like that.
It was like
Wow,
a passing on.
that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was because his mom didn't let him go to the dance too, and so
Shout out, mom.
yeah. What about you?
Core memory between us two.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you remember this either, but me and Jamar played on the basketball team together, and then there was one time where we were playing, and then I drove into the paint, and then I don't know why he was there. He was just there. He swiped down for whatever reason and knocked my contact lens out, right? And so I was blind in one eye, and I remember being so upset at it, right? Because I was like, dude, like I can't play because coach saw me out. Because I'm blind in one eye, and so obviously I was so mad. I was like, why did he swipe his hand or whatever? But then after the game, we got like 20 nuggets, and then we went home, and then like we had an event to go after, right? This is all one day, so he knocked my contact out. I'm like pretty upset because I wanted to play. I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the situation. And then like we like made up pretty fast because we were just hungry. Got 20 nuggets, and then the school bus dropped us off at Oxford or high school, and then we walked to my house because we had a church event that same night. But then I forgot my house key. Right? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
So me and Jamar were like, yo, we're screwed. Like we're so because we had to go. All of our stuff was at home, and then someone was picking us up at like a certain time, so we had to get in. We're sweaty or whatever. And then I was like, yeah, dude, let's hop the fence. And then me and Jamar were like, all right, bet. And in our heads, like, it's like easy to hop the fence, but we go to the back. The fence is like 7 feet tall. We're like, dude, we're so screwed. Jamar supported me over.
Yeah.
He like threw me over. I landed on my knees.
No, it was so bad. I remember I put my hand out. He like put his foot on it. I lifted him. He's like climbing over, and all of a sudden I hear. I was like, oh my gosh, Daniel.
But then the door ended up being locked.
Oh yeah.
So we just went to the event all sweaty.
my God.
But I think like again like that's like a fond memory of mine. 'Cause I thought
Yeah.
just so much happened that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really funny. Yeah, but would you say like what other anecdotes would you say were like are like foundational? Would you say
Foundational of like our relationship.
or like just think memories that we have in our history?
Man, I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess stealing your girlfriend was enough.
Yeah, I think one thing that I just thought of like really randomly is like there was this one day in high school as well. I was like just having a tough time or something, and I remember I was like crying, and then like went outside to like the tables. I'm like waiting for my car to get picked up. I just remember he just like walked by me, and he like did a stop, and he like came back. He was like, "Hey, like, are you okay?" Yeah, I don't know why, but I was like, I think I always think about that, just how. I don't know. I think you just notice things about me. I think you know me very, like even to this day. I think you know me very well of my strengths, my weaknesses, and when I'm doing okay, when I'm not doing okay. And even like if I if I'm not communicating anything to you, kind of just know, like, my situation, I guess. You know, more like kind of read in between the lines is just how you know me so well on an intimate level, without me actually like saying something.
Yeah, I don't remember that day, but
yeah, no, it was a crazy day for me.
Yeah, that was
I didn't know.
Fuck your feelings. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I'm like, how did he know?
That doesn't sound like me at all. Actually.
No, but I agree. I think it's mutual, right? So I think we just know each other so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's valid. All right, Sadat, moving on. What would you say? Because I think we've covered every other aspect, right? So it's me and Sadat left. Yeah. So what are some stories you remember?
Okay, I think our relationship is built on like almost like healthy, not competition, but it's like a lot of my fondest memories with you are debating with each other.
Oh, that's fair.
So,
Yeah.
like, for context, I'm a Lakers fan and Daniel's a Clippers fan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that core difference between us has, fueled a lot of passion and fury between us.
Yeah.
I don't know, what would you say? Like, I feel like we just debate a lot. We just
No, because
just yap a lot.
I love to debate. I think anyone who knows me a little bit knows that about me, and I think Sadat's one of the few people that can actually hold their ground for a while.
Or is willing to
Entertain me.
entertain that for a long time.
Yeah.
And okay, I think there is that of like when you guys debate sometimes, I think a third party person who has no idea what's going on it'll look like you guys are actually fighting.
Like fighting, yeah.
Actually like mad at each other.
Yeah.
But really like it's
It's
not.
just for show.
It's just, yeah.
No, I think that's a good point. Like, man, I don't like. There's been so many things, but I think for not just debating though. Like, I think because of debating, or I think it's symbolic of like just being able to express to each other like what we actually feel, right? Because we can be like X, Y, and Z with each other and not fear judgment per se. And so, because I think for context too, like we have different religious backgrounds, different upbringings, and like despite all that, we have very healthy conversations about our religion, about our worldviews and stuff like that. And so. Yeah, no, but yeah, well, I mean, what do you think? Yeah.
Another like core memory I have was like all the way back in 7th grade.
Uh-huh.
So Daniel and I were in the same class. We were in a Korean class together. Yeah, and we had a field trip. That's the only reason I took this class.
Dude, with your Windows phone, do you remember that?
With my Nokia phone. Back then, I took this class because field trips and free snacks. So we were going to a field trip in Cape Town.
And you now
LA.
hate Koreans.
Yeah. Huh? That's topic for another day. I have strong feelings about. I just want to go to K-Town and not feel like I'm being judged. Like if the store owner would not follow me, that would be very nice.
If H-Mart would let me shop in peace.
Yeah, just let me shop in peace. That would be nice.
Why do you think that's so though?
I don't know. I think Korean people are just very proud people, and their pride comes from being Korean and not like other people. And if you're another group of people, I guess I don't know. It's just you guys are very proudful people.
So are you calling us racist? Is that what it is?
Hey, I'm not the one.
All right, sorry.
Anyway, so we go on this field trip and we're like bored out of our mind during the bus
Yeah, it was an hour trip.
Bus drive there, right? And like LA traffic, if anyone is not from LA,
There's no chance.
Yeah.
Everyone's probably within a 5-mile radius of our
yeah.
address. Yeah.
So we're on the bus and we're bored and we're like, let's just prank call people. So Daniel pulls up this contact of this elementary school friend. We prank call her. She doesn't respond, but after the field trip, she texts me like, "Who are you? Like, what do you want from me?" And then we start talking, and 10 years later, I'm still friends with this person, and Daniel isn't.
I haven't talked to her since 7th grade.
Yeah.
And he's like really
I'm
close
still
with her.
friends with her.
It's actually so insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
So yeah, maybe we should have her on the podcast.
Yeah, something
Oh,
about
shit.
you and those girls and us is a common line.
Yeah.
It's a common thread. Girls related to Daniel and us.
No, but yeah, I don't know why I can't. I think another story that kind of characterizes I think our friendship is like Sadat accuses me of a lot of things all the time, and I think it's funny because I remember that one time when I went to LA, and so I went to LA with a friend, right, and then
Yeah. Don't get me.
you tell it.
Okay. So I mentioned I go to USC, and I also mentioned that I don't really get to see you guys that much because we're all so busy.
This is okay. Continue.
Okay, so mind you, Daniel, because I thought he was so busy, he doesn't get a chance.
Wow.
He doesn't get a chance to come visit me in LA.
Allegedly busy.
Allegedly.
Okay.
But one night I get a phone call from Daniel. Hey, I'm in LA. Are you trying to link? I'm like, wow, how nice of you. My friend came all the way from Orange County to see me.
For once.
For once.
The first time. I
For the
believe.
first time, yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure. Here, this is the address to my house. Like, come pull through, right? He pulls through with this woman. I'm like, oh, well, nice to meet you. How do you two
But I
meet?
was expecting Daniel.
Yeah. I'm like, nice to meet you. Who are you?
What's going on?
Yeah, so and she's like, yes, I'm learning how to drive, and I told Daniel I want to go to LA to learn how to drive, and he just on a whim took me to LA, and we hung out, and he wasn't gonna talk to you or anything.
You're twisting the story. That's crazy. You're crazy.
So this man will help someone learn how to drive if they're attractive enough. But God forbid they
God forbid if there's no one in that passenger seat.
Yeah. God forbid he visits his friend of 10 years.
Okay, no, you're twisting the story because I went to LA and my thought was might as well hit Sadat up.
Yeah.
Because it's I haven't seen him.
But why is it that you don't go out of your own volition? But
All right,
what do you have to do?
You know what?
Favor
Let's
for this
flip
girl.
the story then. How many times have you said you're coming down here and you never come down
Okay,
here?
but I
Or you
overwhelmingly am the one who comes here rather than you guys coming to LA.
Okay, because if I go to LA, what am I going to do?
Oh yeah, because Buena Park is so much more interesting than Los Angeles. There's absolutely nothing to do in the city of Los Angeles.
No, but we usually just hang out at home, right? And so my house has the TV and everything. And
Yeah, because we're in Buena Park and there's nowhere else to go.
Wait, but you have Jamar here? You know what I mean? Hey, but point being.
Yeah. Where was Jamar when you came to LA with that girl, huh? It was just you and the girl. Teaching her how to drive.
No, I knew that story's funny. But what goes undisclosed is the amount of times Sadat has come tardy or missed events because of his.
At least I showed up. And I came by myself.
At least you came for this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, but point being, I think Sadat, actually the story that I always think about when I think about our relationship is my mom always tells me this. I think it's so funny because I forgot. My mom reminds me of this. Back in high school, me and Sadat had this big dream of both going into government. Together.
I don't even
you don't remember this? So Sadat's our entire thing was Sadat was going to go into some public policy position, maybe like a mayor or a governor or something.
Yeah, wait, that was nefarious, bro. Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? Alex? Hey,
maybe that's still my dream.
Exactly. Why are you down?
Way to shit on my dream.
He's like, yeah, Sadat be the mayor. Sally's like, what the mayor?
What?
You saw Vivek and he was like, there's no way.
Oh.
Anyways, but yeah, so because you're still
I'm a political
major.
science major.
Yeah, so he had that thought of just being governor, and he was like, yeah, because I'm going to education, so I was like, yeah, if you ever rise up or become superintendent or something, I'll make you secretary of education. Or that kind of dream. And my mom always reminds me of that, right? And so I just think
This guy's crazy,
You know what's
bro.
funny? Hey, Alex right here is laughing.
Alex, you're behind the camera
Hey,
for a
as the
reason.
solely unemployed
Crazy.
member of this, you're unemployed, buddy. Anyways,
Buddy, give me I do freelance.
freelance.
I do freelance arts.
Yeah, Alex plays freelance art, but I mean,
Buy his art, people.
buy his art, please. Alex,
Have you been working out your right arm? Specifically your right arm?
Looks very small.
It looks pretty swole. What have you been doing with your free time?
Yeah, just being unemployed at home. Anyways, I'm kidding, but I love you, Alex. But anyways, so we had that dream. My mom always reminds me of this, but I think it's it's symbolic of our relationship because I think me and Sadat, despite all the arguments or the debates or whatever, I genuinely think super highly of him, right? I think hopefully you think the same. And
it's not that kind of podcast, bro. It's just whimsical and fun. Come on.
Yeah, but no, I think highly of him. And it's I think that is a good characterization of how we view each other and kind of how our friendship is kind of aligned. So yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you
And
mentioned.
it could still
sorry, go ahead.
happen. It could still happen.
Okay,
The
what?
dream's not dead.
The dream's not dead.
Yeah, that's true. You're not said, but yeah.
No, I was saying Daniel mentioned how we have religious differences. I'm Muslim, he's Christian. But one of my fondest memories I have of you is you inviting me to your church during Christmas, and I've never experienced Christmas at a church.
Yeah.
And I just had such a fond memory of that. Your pastor was so kind to me. Like I remember playing Catan with the kids. Yeah, and all the aunties, Korean aunties. What do you call it? Ajumma?
Wait. So that experience at a Korean church didn't forge your relationship with their community? Like what?
What do you? I go to your church all the time.
Yeah, but you hate the Korean community.
Whoa. I just. I just wish you guys would not follow me around when I'm at H1, okay? Yeah.
Oh man. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I'm glad.
No, okay.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, no. I've been very fortunate to grow up with and around a lot of Korean people. It's a beautiful culture, and
This is on record, by the way.
yeah, I know. God damn it. And something that really stood out to me was when I went to that church, and every time I go to your church or your parents' house or anything, how kind they are. Hey, take the spring roll, take another one, take another one, take this kimbap, and everyone's so warm. They're very welcoming. I love the youth at your church. I feel like they kind of know me now, so they're
for sure.
Yeah,
You're iconic.
They're always excited to there's this guy, the pastor's son actually. He always gives me a hug every time I see him. It's so cool. Yeah.
No, yeah. So it's kind of nice to see it too. Well, I think I think we covered most of our relational aspects with each other, and so I think for our first episode, we just kind of wanted to give a perspective on how this started, how we know each other, and so does anyone have any stories that they want to tell before we end this episode? Because if not, I think we just close.
Can we keep going because I feel like there are things there were dead points that we can cut out, like this point. So let's just go for let's just go for another 15 minutes and then we can.
Another 15 minutes?
Wait, I'm out of stories. Yeah, you have stories.
No. Let me cook.
Okay, go. Also, we're not cutting any of this, by the way.
Yes, there's okay, fine. This conversation's pointless. We have to cut
This is your fault. This is completely your fault.
Yeah, I was gonna close it, and all of a sudden you're
completely your
let's go
fault.
15 more minutes. This is your fault.
Okay, no. So the question I had was, throughout this conversation, religion has been a concept that's been brought up. Daniel, you're a PK, which is pastor's kid. Could you kind of talk about how that's shaped?
Am I trauma dumping right now? Is that what it's going
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, because I think it's very important to outline what our worldview is, how
Each other.
our perspective has been shaped.
No, for sure. I
experience.
think growing up as a pastor's kid, obviously I grew up in a very religious scope, and I have a religious, perspective on, or I grew up with a lot of that. But I think, to be honest with you, growing up or going to public schools, right? Growing up around people who don't really share my worldview kind of expanded my aspect on it. And so, to be honest with you, I think a lot of the things that I hold today, my parents might not agree with, but it's okay because I think I've been able to kind of balance a healthy balance of what my beliefs are, what I believe is true, and how to respect others in a way that I think is valid and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I would say growing up as a pastor's kid was only a plus for me, to be honest with you. But yeah.
Yeah, June, would you say religion was an important part of your life, or has been?
He's also a
Yeah,
PK.
I'm also a
I did not
pastor's
know
kid.
that actually.
So, yeah, I think I echo what Daniel says. Yeah, I think overall it has been beneficial to my life. But the whole adage of PKs is that you either go one way
or the other.
I do feel like both of us kind of sit in the middle ground of that,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a healthier place to be. So, I don't know.
Being a PK for both of you, do you feel like there was an added pressure to uphold a certain standard?
Oh,
yes.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
I don't know,
Even I remember in first grade or something, I remember there was a situation where there were these snacks or gifts for the kids, right? And then they were passing them out, and then they ran out before it got to me. And they're like, well, because you're you're the PK, so you need to have an open and generous heart and be okay with this situation.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm
And so,
converted to the religion of Islam.
And so,
Is that what this is leading up to?
there were a lot of moments where my position as a PK, even as a young child, necessitated that my behavior and my generosity and like all of these things should be at a higher standard than other kids, even though I was not the one that chose to be a pastor. My dad is.
No, yeah, this is very accurate of my experience. I think on top of that, it's like I think being a PK is almost like it's like being like a president's child. Like you're under the scope all the time.
It's like one of the few like jobs where like your child is directly or like constantly involved in the work, right? Like what other kid goes to their dad's work every day, like every time he goes to work?
And your attitude is a reflection of your parent, whether that's fair or not.
I'm pretty sure Yejun feels the same. I've mastered the art of talking to adults. Like it's an art. Like in Korean culture, there's a specific way or things you can like phrase things or like how you like the jargon that you use, and I've mastered it because of my upbringing, right? It's like it helps now, but back then it was pretty fake.
When you're young and hormonal and like growing up, there are moments where you're like, this sucks, but then I think looking back, it was like, I don't know, it made me who I am.
For sure, yeah.
Did you guys ever abuse your power as
there's no power to be had as a PK.
We were constantly surrendering. So what kind of power?
Surrender is a power that we have.
There's no power.
And then real quick, Jamar, like I know you want to talk about this like maybe in like an episode in and of itself.
Dude, so I was trying to bring everything into our first episode.
These will like be topics.
And obviously like this.
For sure.
This topic is like you can't do it justice in like a 2 minute. But like just real quick, like could you kind of outline like your journey with religion, not like in detail, but just like how this shapes your worldview.
Should I just talk about my worldview?
It's just point A, point B, point C.
I think my worldview had like a big, like line of growth. Growing up, just my situation, I think it wasn't really a big like practicing like religious person. Grew up in like Catholic household, but really didn't really retain any of those values or worldviews. And then growing up also, growing a lot with like a single mom in many avenues as well, and just having a stepdad as well. That was like, you can imagine like my worldviews weren't always consistently around me. And so my worldviews became very much more in my own possession, what I can do and what I pursue. And so in like high school, I think as I was in curiosity about all these kinds of things, I took it very much more into my own hands and explored Christianity, and also like ultimately like accepted it and began practicing it. But I think also like a big part that kind of goes unnoticed is just like living with my mom, being in that kind of situation, especially as like a man and not having like a huge like male figure. I think a lot of like I guess like traditional like masculine like characteristics and styles, I guess, was not really abundant in my life or my childhood, and so I kind of drew more of like I guess from my mom into those assets.
Jamar, you and I had this conversation once. Like I asked like, how do you think like I guess missing that masculine figure like impacted your life? And you said, I don't even know, because I don't even know what I was missing.
No, it's like, again, like even today, like I don't know how to answer that question.
It's 100%.
It's like, man, like I don't know what I'm missing. Like I think compared to just maybe spectating like my friends and other guys, I think a big part is like, I think pride. I don't know. I think my perspective of my pride is like biased, but I think my pride compared to other guys' pride is like much less like apparent. I don't know.
What do you mean by pride?
I think like I'm okay with like losing. Like I'm okay with like not being the best. Like my competitive drive is like it's there, but like once it's like I won't push it too much to like extreme. I don't know. It's like all I can really imagine and think of.
I mean, this is not at all like the same, but so I'm an only child, and when people ask me like, "Oh, do you wish you had siblings?" I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know what it's like having a sibling.
Right.
Yeah. And just to round out like the conversation about religion, so I'm personally Muslim, and I think that's definitely shaped my life. Like not only like does the religion provide a basis, like a moral basis, like like for example, I don't eat pork. You know, I stay away from alcohol. I stay away from some of the things that might be. What, Daniel? Huh?
Staying away, that's a loose term. Continue.
Stay away. No, okay, yeah, I don't drink alcohol. Yeah. What are you trying to prove here, bro?
No, nothing. I just thought it's funny the way you worded that.
Yeah. So yeah, like there's there's a way, like Islam is a way of life, and then so I think that obviously shapes the way I live my life, but then also being Muslim in America is in and of itself like its own experience. Like not only am I practicing this religion is a minority, and how to like navigate that. So I think that's definitely shaped the way I view myself and view my surroundings. Other than that, I think we're all unique in the sense that where we grew up, we're all from Southern California, and we all grew up in a community that's like not the average American community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, like for example, I think because of the school we went to, Daniel, Jamar, and I, and since your high school was very close by as well, I think we grew up with a disproportionate amount of Asian people. And then Yedrin and I, we both went to UC Riverside. I went there for a couple years before I transferred.
Before you ditched them.
Hey, shots to the Highlanders.
Every dream of a
No.
Highlander is to become a Trojan.
Hey.
Is it really?
Not
Be
Trojan.
specifically a but to get out.
But also, like, I feel like the Trojan dream is much higher in proportion than other ones.
Wow, you're living the dream.
I
Hey,
don't know.
congratulations.
No, hey.
You are
Go
the pinnacle
Highlanders.
of the American dream.
Nothing but
Yeah.
positive things to say. But
'cause
you
you
know,
love
the
that.
reason I brought up UC Riverside is the fact that like I feel like there's a lot bigger Hispanic community there.
Right.
So like I got
Yeah, Riverside is like one of the most diverse colleges.
diverse colleges, but even then, it's like I don't think there's a lot of white people or black people at Riverside.
There
Yeah.
are.
I don't.
Just probably didn't see them.
No.
Wow, what does it say about
What
you?
does this say about you?
This just proves I don't see color, guys.
That's probably the worst statement you could have said.
Not a good thing.
That's funny.
Yeah, so like I think that's definitely shaped us. Like the fact that I think most people, especially Asian people, like they don't grow up with a lot of Asians in their. Yeah, I think of Nikki Haley, Nimrata Haley.
How was that?
Sorry, we'll talk about Nikki Haley on a different.
We're gonna
podcast.
talk about Nikki Haley.
Yeah. I have opinions. on Nikki Haley.
It's an election year.
Yeah, I have opinions on Nikki Haley. But yeah, like, does anyone want to piggyback off that? Like,
No, I think just to wrap things up, like, you know, in one sense, we're not unique, right? Because we, especially in our community, we're not like our experiences, but in another sense, we are very unique. And so, I think that's kind of the heart behind this podcast, right? The reason why we're starting it is to show that even like normal people like us are unique in their way, and people have stories to tell. And so, yeah, I think, you know, to actually close it, you know, like I said, we're actually not going to cut anything, and so that earlier debacle is going to be perfectly in this podcast, right?
It's a
Real
work
and
in
authentic.
progress.
Real, authentic,
But it's a work in
uncut.
progress.
Yeah, uncut, real, authentic. But
We have the conversations you're not allowed to have with your family.
exactly.
Politics,
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah, I was thinking of a slogan for this podcast. I was like, yeah, real people, real conversations. But,
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, to wrap up,
Stand for it.
that's kind of what this podcast is going to be about. You know, I'm excited to see where this project goes. And so we have a lot of exciting episodes coming up. And so, yeah, to our perfectly, you know, and lovely 2 listeners out there, thank you for listening. And 2 listeners being Alex and, you know,
Shout out to mom. No,
Shout out to Mom, yeah.
She will not be watching this.
Shout out to my mom.
Where will we be uploading these?
Oh, yes, thank you. So, our episodes come out every Monday on Spotify and YouTube.
Hopefully.
Yeah, ideally. Alex. So on Spotify and YouTube, and then on Wednesdays it's going to be on Instagram and TikTok, just like shorts of it. And so yeah, please keep in tune. And yeah, I think we should think of an ending slogan to kind of close out our
Yes,
podcast.
we do. But we also, you know, subscribe, like,
Oh yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting to do that. Yeah,
notification bell,
yeah.
comment.
Please, we'll read out. We'll read out your comments because there's like 5 of them.
Yeah. You put questions, concepts for us to go
If
over.
that, yeah.
You want to be a guest? You know.
Oh yeah, if you want to be a
Yes,
guest, yeah,
let us
please
know.
let us
Screw
know.
it.
Jamar, plug your Instagram.
Oh, that reminds me. This one time, we were doing the Oxford news, like our high school's news.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was all three of us.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah, we were doing a donation drive. So like during the news, we were trying to raise money for like schools in like developing countries.
Yeah, like Africa. We're trying to build a school in Africa.
And then as like the money was coming in, we needed to waste time. We all plugged our phone numbers and Instagrams.
That's high school. Anyways, but yeah, that kind of concludes our episodes. Please tune in every Monday and Wednesday, and we'll think of the ending slogan one day. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Alright, that was terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. It was funny.
Yes.